This is the Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast.
Nathan, Nat and Sean with Ross sitting in for Nathan today. We all watched the vision. Some people didn't believe it yesterday, looking at our producer Amy, of the astronauts returning to Earth after, they went to the International Space Station for 8 days. They stayed for 286, which is a lot more than initially intended.
Absolutely.
They finally got to come back yesterday. Time to catch up with Dr. Shawna Pandya, who we've met here. She's been in the studio with us, to give us the lowdown on everything that they're going through. Shawna, hello.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Oh, this is so amazing. We watched all the vision yesterday. I've got to admit, though, I was kind of with Amy. I was watching it because it was coming through from a satellite coverage, and I was thinking, oh, we've been stung here. This is a phony.
It looked like it was CGI'd.
But very exciting.
Did it look that way to you?
You know, the tip-off was that it was so perfect that if this was CGI, that they would have ruined it, because anyone who's doing a fairy tale kind of story or a Hollywood ending would have known not to put the dolphins in, because they knew that would have kind of been, push the limits of belief or disbelief. And, this was so picture perfect. It was during the daytime, clear ocean, calm seas, beautiful turquoise waters. For anyone who was watching live, they saw these beautiful main shoots just unfurling like jellyfish. And then, out of nowhere, these dolphins come right up to the SpaceX Crew Dragon capsule as if to say, hello, welcome back, we missed you. It was just so perfect.
It's crazy.
So, Shawna, they were in there 286 days. What type of, how's their body? What would be going on with their body?
It takes a toll, right?
After that long?
There's a lot, yeah. So the three main systems, so the short summary is that every single bodily system is affected by being in space, but the three main ones that will be focused on for rehabilitation will be the cardiovascular systems, the neurosensory systems, and the musculoskeletal systems. So just think of your inner ear, your heart, as well as your muscles. And so for anyone who's watching the landing live, you'll notice that each one of the four returning crew members were wheeled out on stretchers, and that's not because anything was wrong. It's a matter of protocol, because imagine that you have not stood up on your own 2 feet for 9 months. Imagine the next time you try to stand up, your legs are going to be decompensated. You're going to have a hard time just even trying to maintain the blood flow to your brain. The valves in your legs are very compensated, so you have a very real risk of fainting or falling over. And your inner ear, which has spent all this time in zero G, where there was no up or down, suddenly has to relearn all of that. So, you saw them being whisked away to their initial medical evaluation, where they were given their first once-over from head to toe by the flight surgeon. And all of that's protocol, because, they're adapted to one gravity environment, in this case being a lack of gravity environment, and now they have to get used to being in the 1G that you and I take for granted every day.
It's amazing to think about all this stuff that they have to go back, particularly learning to walk again. So what kind of a process do they have to do, Dr. Pandya, to be able to get their legs? Is it just a couple of minutes here and there?
Yeah, what's the rehab involve?
It's a lot, is the short answer. So these astronauts are very well looked after, and that starts at pre-flight. And so every astronaut is different. Their readaptation process is different. The amount of muscle mass loss and what the rehab program they'll each go through will be tailored to each individual astronaut. So they will be immediately taken by helicopter back to mainland from the landing vessel. Then they'll be flown back to Texas. And then in the coming days, rehab, blood tests, imaging, it all starts. And they're not even doing anything that's extremely strenuous, like jogging in the first week, because they're still learning how to walk. So it'll be this cross coordination between getting maybe some cardio on a less high impact cardio machine like an elliptical. There will be definite retraining for coordination, so some hand-eye coordination, maybe with a ball, and then just re-strengthening those core muscles like the abs, which we haven't had to use in space. So, it's very, very meticulous. It goes on for at least a month, and it's tailored to every astronaut. And then, just to start getting used to resistive exercise in a safe environment, they might do what we call hydrotherapy, which will include some swimming and some water exercises as well.
Oh, Nat.
I imagine that even just getting used to gravity again is going to blow their minds, that if you drop something, it's going to fall to the ground.
Exactly.
Whereas they're used to things just floating around them. That must be, even that would be hard to get your head around.
Yeah, there's so much here that we take for granted. So there's, of course, the gravity. And then one point that was made during the landing commentary yesterday was that this is the first time they will be breathing fresh air in 9 months.
Wow.
So, we can just walk outside if we feel like it. They can't. So it really does kind of hammer home how much we take for granted just being here on Earth. So, they've been through a lot, but they all four of them, Butch, Sunny, Nick, Alexander, showed that they were up to the task.
Was there any physical advantages of being in space that long? They're not getting melanoma up there, I assume. But is there anything that would be better off once you're in space for 286 days?
Even to fly, it's I've been in parabolic flight. I've done almost 190 of these parabolas now, so much shorter duration than what an International Space Station mission entailed. But it is incredible. Floating is one of the most freeing feelings you'll ever get to experience. I can't wait to experience it again myself. And there's a lot of fun to be had up there. Koichi Wakata, one of the famous Japanese astronauts, has this incredible video of him playing all the positions in baseball as a one-man show. So he'll throw the ball, and then he'll race to the other side of the station. He'll catch it. He'll meet it in time to hit it with a bat and then go back and catch it. So, you can get pretty creative up there.
It's hard to throw a fastball, though.
Absolutely. And he got caught out trying to steal home, which is unbelievable. I wanted to know, Dr. Pandya, do you know, so the astronauts are safe at home, and we all know that now. They got on the stretchers and they go off. Do you know what kind of foods that they would want to be eating and or allowed to be eating? Because you'd think, oh, my God, thank God, no dehydrated stuff. Do I get a burger? Whatever. But I'd imagine your body wouldn't take to that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so their nutritional status is very closely monitored. So when I say these guys are well looked after, I mean it. There's a whole team of flight surgeons, psychologists, nutritionists, rehab specialists, all looking after them. But the luxury that they get being back here on Earth, they can actually have fresh fruit, fresh vegetables now, which, up on station are a whole luxury because they're vegetables and fruit. They're wet, they're heavy, they have a finite shelf life. So, an orange that you and I may take for granted is sent up as a luxury item for Christmas. So these guys get to go back to their usual diet soon, and, of course, their nutritional status will be closely monitored.
Theoretically speaking, how long would it be before those particular astronauts, Sonny and Butch, would be able to go back up there again?
That I would actually be highly dependent on each astronaut. I'm sure they want to spend some time with their families and practice.
How about you turn them around? Back you go. So physically, within months?
Some of it will be dependent on what their pre versus post-flight status is. So their bone density, their muscle mass, their core muscle strength, all of that is meticulously recorded before flight. And then those same measurements are undertaken post-flight. And then trying to get them back to their baseline, all of that. For example, for bone density loss, that's something we haven't talked about yet.
Yeah.
They would have lost, 1 to 2% per month if they hadn't been doing exercise up on the station.
That's significant loss. Yeah,
exactly. So looking at when they get back to their baseline, and there's a whole lot of mission debriefing. There's a whole lot of recovery from this mission that needs to happen as well. So it won't be anytime soon.
Yeah. I mean, they'd have to be keen as well, which they're probably not.
You're freaking fly miles, though.
Dr. Shawna Pandya, our favourite doctor/astronaut, thanks so much for talking to us this morning.
Thank you so much for having me. I can't wait to be back.
It's the Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast.
So Nathan's had some banging in his life of recent.
Yeah, I know.
But he's exhausted.
It costs a lot of money. Sean used to tell me.
That's very...
Yeah, 2 tiny holes in my trough It's trough?
Yeah, laundry trough.
laundry trough.
Yep.
Laundry trough from my hot water system exploding the other day, and it seemed to have had some acid situation that has burnt these two holes very quickly. I'm going to have to get a look
Weird.
at it. Gonna get forensics on there.
Further investigation.
Yeah,
but
yes.
it means you're going to have to rip out your entire laundry.
And it's going to cost
essentially.
more than the hot water system.
That's crazy. So we're talking about small problem, but coming at a big cost. Chelsea, hello.
Hi guys, how are you?
Oh,
Great,
Chels.
Chels. What happened?
Welcome back, Nathan.
Oh, thanks, baby. Oh, I missed you, but I've been watching you at night. I've been watching you at night at your house.
Good.
Yeah.
Oh, so glad.
Great.
So good to hear your voice again. So I'm a bit of a crazy rabbit lady. We've always had rabbits because they're really cool animals. And over the years, they've cost us like a chest freezer from chewing through wires. Like fixing up carpets, so they've done that. Anyway, the last lot we adopted, which I think will have to be the last, we let them out all during the day because I don't want to keep them in a hutch, and then at night they go in the hutch. But during the day, they've gone to the neighbour's house for apparently a couple of weeks and dug under and been having a little fun old time there. But dug so much the retaining wall's fallen over.
Your rabbits have
whole
knocked over a
retaining wall.
retaining wall.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, because they've done that
Chelsea.
much damage. Like, it's insane. Like, it's mental. When we had a look, we had no idea. So,
Have you had a quote on that?
It's about $12,000.
Oh,
Sean,
Chelsea.
it's a rubber-proof fence.
Yeah.
So they made a movie about it. Yeah. Your husband, is his name Warren? Because you love rabbits so
No,
much.
but we're having rabbits stew for dinner.
Of course you are. Well, you are now. Hey, Chels, how do you cover that expense? Is that an insurance thing as well?
No, because they're your
No.
pet. It's your fault.
No. The neighbours have been really good because the fence wasn't the greatest to begin with. So they said, look, they're happy to chip in half, which is awesome.
Are you joking? That's really generous of them.
I know, but it's not ideal for two.
No way.
Can I say something,
Yeah.
though? We are
Maybe those
always looking
neighbours.
for the upper hand in wars. I mean, who ever thought? Just send
Bunnies.
rabbits over. And
Exactly.
by the end of it, Sean, their whole fort falls down.
The Kremlin will be crumbling,
People
Nathan.
fight with forts.
Yeah, well, that's why they built the Great Wall of China, Nathan, to keep the rabbits out. So because of that.
That was the first rabbit-proof fence.
Telstra ads have taught us anything.
Yep.
Well, Jesus, bunnies, hey?
That was full
Bloody
on.
hell.
Thanks, Chels. Colin's in Stratton. Morning, Cole.
Hello, Colin. Hello, Colin.
Hey, Colin. Yeah, there, Colin.
Listener, first-time caller.
Oh, well,
Cole, that's
welcome.
lovely.
I hope you're wearing
along.
protection.
Okay, Colin, take a deep breath and tell us your story.
Okay, so look, middle of last year, I was getting the great opportunity for work, right? So they're like, look, come in 9 a.m., first shift, it'll be great. I'm like, sweet. Look, it was a trial, but it was going to lead to really great employment. So driving through Nangara Road, tire goes out. I'm like, okay, look, it's fine, universe, whatever else, I'll fix it.
Yep.
Get out of the car. Surely, damage job, right? Fixing the tire on the right-hand side. In the 10 minutes that I'm fixing the tire, I get bitten by a snake.
Colin,
Whoa.
this is your first day of a new job and you've got a flat tire and then bitten by a snake on the way to work.
And you can imagine the phone call to the employer. They're like, oh, sure.
What's this
Yeah,
liability?
this guy hasn't even come to the end. I think he's given us 2 excuses already.
That we don't believe.
Yeah.
So I end up in hospital, and I'm like, do they have to give me the antivenoms?
Yes.
And then I have a reaction to that.
Oh.
So I'm in hospital for almost 3 weeks.
What?
So they couldn't hold on to the job for anymore, so then back to job search.
Oh, Colin. Hey, Cole, so you're on the side of the road, right? So you take your equipment out and start doing the jacking up the tyre. Did you feel that snake? Did you see it afterwards once you were bitten as well?
So I think I saw it. It bit me and then bailed because I got up obviously screaming. Yeah.
Sean, if I bite someone, I run too. Yeah.
So, Colin, you're on the side of the road, changing your tyres up on blocks, essentially, your car's up on blocks. You've been bitten by a snake. How did you get help? Did you have to call an ambulance yourself or did somebody
straight
stop?
up called an ambulance. While I'm in the ambulance, I'm kind of like delirious in a heightened state from the thing, and I'm calling my employer. I'm not going to come in. I was bitten. And like,
But as an employer,
No one believes
don't tell us the place, but what field was it in? What sort of area do you work in?
so So I actually work in drug and alcohol rehabilitation, but this was on Nangara Road.
Oh,
And you would have sounded like you're off your head.
I think Colin might have relapsed.
But my thing about it is rehabilitation, that's caring, that's empathy. You know what I mean? I thought you give a little bit of empathy to the guy that couldn't get here because he got bitten by a snake.
Yeah, I know, but like, if they had to fill the role, they had to fill the role.
I think the snake bites just elevate the whole situation, especially after a flat tyre.
Oh, but then he had to go and react, didn't he?
lot.
Like, you can handle the snake bite, you can handle the flat tire. But when you're reacting to the anti-venom, that's just pushing it too far.
Colin, how long does it take for you to feel a snake bite? How long does it take for that poison?
Instantly.
Really?
Instantly. That bite, and I immediately got sick. And
Oh, my God.
and I looked and I saw this thing like scurrying off, and I was like,
Was it a
I love
dugite?
this. Great.
What sort was it?
It was a dugite.
Yeah.
It was a dugite, yeah.
That's amazing. Hey, did you know what to do with your leg? Did you been elevated or not elevated or
So, obviously, with drug and alcohol rehab, we do have that first aid training, but let's be honest, when you're in that moment,
it's you.
I don't think I did the right thing.
And also, that snake's on cocaine.
Yeah.
right.
They say, like, tightly bandage and immobilise.
Yeah.
So
'Cause in my
and
mind-
stay calm. But as if you can stay calm
How do you
in that
stay calm?
In my mind, it's the old school movies. It's get a penknife, it's cut your leg,
Yes.
and then suck the poison out.
Okay, we have to say legally that is not the answer.
It's get a steak knife.
It's the Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast.
We got the opportunity after the show to catch up with Teddy Swims. He was in Argentina at the time. Delightful man.
He was really nice.
Really lovely, genuine. Of course, the reason is that he's headed our way. He'll be playing RAC Arena in late October. The tickets go on sale to the general public on Monday.
We were giving away tickets this week. We're going to hold some off to Monday.
Yes, we are. All right, let's have a listen.
Good to see you guys.
We're excited that you are coming to Australia, Teddy. Back again, because you are much beloved here, aren't you?
It's my favorite place in the freaking world. Y'all know that.
Really? Teddy, you're travelling all around the world at the moment. Are you coming to us right now from Argentina?
Yeah, I'm in Buenos Aires right now. It's 11:04 p.m. So I'm having an Aperol Spritz. So, you know what I mean?
How good?
Does it taste as good as I think it does?
It's pretty sweet, baby.
Hey, Teddy, I've never been to Argentina. Give us a rundown.
me either.
Have you been able to take up the atmosphere of the place, or are you just busy?
Have you done the tango in the street yet?
Not too much. I mean, we went today and had some empanadas, and then saw they had this beautiful cemetery situation, which was like the cemetery was so incredible. It was like all these mausoleums and y'all got to look into this cemetery in Argentina, like in Buenos Aires. It was one of the most beautiful experiences I gotten to go through and walk through today, and it was really cool, man. Like it was like almost a town of dead people, I guess you could kind of say. But everybody had have you guys ever seen this Buenos Aires cemetery I'm talking about?
No, we'll have a look at it while we're talking.
I'm envisaging something like is in New Orleans. Is it like that?
Yeah, it's kind of like the New Orleans one, but it's like 10 times bigger than that. Like it's everybody's got these like statues and these I don't know. It had me so introspective today because I was like, man, like it was like almost like a whole town of like these mausoleums and these I don't know. It had me just thinking so hard. And today I had in my AirPods too. I was listening to the Tarzan soundtrack. You know, like Phil Collins. While I was going through it too, and it just made me, I was just feeling the whole
What a
thing.
moment in time.
You'll be in my heart while that was happening, and I was like, God, you're so good, man.
Just
It was
like
awesome.
some sort of spiritual experience right there in the cemetery.
Yeah, Phil Collins did his damn thing on that record, didn't he?
Yeah, I would do it.
Hey, Teddy, when I first started seeing you coming up on YouTube, when I was just floating across stuff and Instagram and whatever, doing the covers, which I know you many years ago, did you... Oh, there was you, right, that was coming up all the time for me, and another group called Boyce Avenue. Do you know who they are? Have you seen them?
Oh, yeah, dude. Those guys rip, man.
But I thought, both of you are just so incredible, and just seeing all these amazing covers come across. And
Boyce Avenue has been doing this like way longer. I mean, they were like really kind of like maybe one of the first like YouTube cover artists that were they've probably been doing this like 10 years longer than I have done on YouTube. I mean, those guys have been around forever on YouTube.
How do you go from being able to because when you just see you go, oh, mate, this guy's incredible with his voice. So, and just putting you next to them for a second, they haven't gone on to do any original stuff, but being able to translate from you to doing covers to doing your original stuff and making it hit. Do you know what the difference is?
Yeah, I mean, there was definitely like always a fear. Like I was terrified that, I'd sang some of the best songs that ever been written.
Yeah.
And also gotten some notoriety from singing the best songs ever written.
Yep.
And I was so terrified of writing anything as good as those songs, like I'm like, how do you write original songs after you sang I Can't Make You Love Me? You're like, still the one.
Still the one.
How do you after you get notoriety for doing some of the best songs ever written, how do you ever write songs that are that good? And I definitely had like this fear of like never working as a original artist. And I still feel like I'll never write songs as good as those, but I'm just trying to write something as honest as the way I listen to those songs.
Yeah, yep.
And they're connecting. So I'm grateful that I broke out of that space, and still also like I still do covers. We sing covers every night. I still listen to music every day and fall in love and sing my favorite songs every day. And so I'm grateful that my songs started working, but I still will never write an I Can't Make You Love Me. Hopefully one day I will.
You will.
But,
You will.
I mean, once Lose Control was out there, your career has it's literally skyrocketed. And I mean, it's a giant leap for you to next minute you're at the Brit Awards covered in soft toys on the red carpet. Talk us through that costume choice for the Brit Awards.
Well, so we were there's this Brazilian designer called Division, and my buddy Christian, like showed me the jacket, and I was like, I love it because there's a piece of me that like loved it, like. When kids like grow out of toys and they like grow out of toys and these toys don't get like used anymore, and these toys are getting like put in like Goodwill or like they're getting taken away and these toys don't get love anymore. I was like, what an opportunity to like repurpose these toys to get like put on a red carpet and get love again. I don't know. There was something about it that I felt like kind of drawn to, that I was like, I love that these toys are getting love again and these toys are getting a chance to be stars again. It was like, it made me feel like Toy Story, like the movie.
It's the next in the Toy Story franchise is these toys end up on the red carpet as York jacket. That's great.
Yeah, now they're all celebrity, and what's been crazy is like we just finished our European leg of this tour, and dude, every show there was somebody that had like a jacket that they had made with all the like they had made their own jacket with. There was somebody in the front row every night, which was crazy. And like it's been like one of the craziest viral things. Like people have made their own jackets and come to our shows with like their own teddies all over the jacket. And
that's the best.
How cool is that?
Teddy, how do you get used to now traveling around the world and people coming to see you play? You used to that kind of stuff to have notoriety?
Dude, you don't get used to that at all. It's such a weird thing, and it's growing every day exponentially.
Yeah, it is.
Like, and you're in a place like this, like Argentina, and you think you're like,
what the hell?
Nobody knows you're here, or that you're okay to go somewhere, and then next thing you know, you're getting surrounded and happy to do that. Happy to like love on everybody, but. Things are getting different, and they're getting different, and they're compounding every day, and it's getting bigger and bigger every day. And as soon as I think I got a grip on it, there's like it's getting way bigger than it is. It's growing. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm just trying to like be as present as I can, even if I got 5 seconds with somebody or 10 seconds with somebody, 10 minutes with somebody. I'm trying to make sure I'm present for every interaction I have, and that's like. Whether it's 10 seconds or 10 minutes, or if there's 2,000 people in my face, try to make sure if you got 10 seconds with 2,000 people that you're present for every one of them. I just try to be as like present as I can and be grateful.
That's really
try to be grateful the best I can. And they can all have one too.
You're a good guy, Teddy. You're a genuinely nice guy. You're very, you're authentic and you're very genuine, and that shows through. So no wonder you're selling out stadiums all over the world now. Incredible. You deserve it. Before we let you go, we got one last question. Our producer wants to know, does it hurt to get tattoos on your eyelid?
Okay, the eyelid it was a weird thing. Okay, the eyelid, it's got to be a very, very tiny needle, because obviously you don't want it to puncture.
Yes.
So it didn't hurt that bad, but also like if you guys have ever gotten tattooed, you know that the needle like bounces like 100 miles per hour or something.
Yep.
It like bounces. so you feel your eyeball bouncing, you know. So it irritates your eye, like it makes you cry a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
You literally feel your eyeball bouncing. It's like a weird sensation. It doesn't hurt as bad as you think, but it's a weird sensation. But also, you know, like when I was in 9th grade, like Lil Wayne dropped the Carter 3 that changed my life forever. And he had like fear of God on his stuff. And I was like, dude, one thing I'll do for sure is like, I have to be like Lil Wayne. I have to get my eyelids tattooed. That's like what I set my life to do.
It's great to have ambition.
So I literally only have my eyelids tattooed because I want to be like Lil Wayne. That's
that's enough. That's reason enough. Good on you, Teddy.
Yeah, he's the coolest guy ever. He's the coolest guy ever.
Teddy, we can't wait till you hit our shores. It's going to be brilliant. RAC Arena, 29th of October. Thank you for talking to us, Teddy.
Nathan, Nat, and Sean is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au. Nova.